Sanbonani guys, welcome back to yet another video, and we are speaking about the latest episode of Queendom, you guys. So guys, this episode opens up with Undando. She is at Ubanzi's room and she's standing near his bed and she's like, Londolozi yethu. And she expects, some sort of blink from Ubanzi, because Ubanzi is conscious, you guys. So she expects some sort of move because Ubanzi's eyes were open now that he's conscious. But she sees Uti while she's trying to communicate with Ubanzi like Utule, he's quiet. So she says, wamanzi bengicela ukuthi bengicela uphakame nje kancane ithi ngikusize, like. So she goes ahead and moves him so that he can be seated like in a comfortable position. But she notices that Zabo Nomuntu is not moving, and she's like, wamanzi. She puts her hand or a finger on his mouth to see if there's any breath coming out, and on his nose, and tonono, guys. And then she goes on to say, Poto. She runs out of the room. She's like, Poto, we're no kata, like calling people, because she just realized that, guys, that there's no breath coming from Ubanzi's body. Or no heartbeat, basically. Next thing, we see the doctor in the room, guys, and he checks pulse from Ubanzi's neck. And all we see him do is that once he feels for the pulse on Ubanzi's neck, he just looks at the time. And obviously, maybe Peggy's cards, guys, which is card circle. So uyohlangana no lokhuzana wako with your maker. So he checks the time. And then he just says to the family, ngiyaxolisa kakhulu. So the people who are in there is Undando, Ebo, Mandlovu, and Utaluxolo. So the doctor says ngiyaxolisa kakhulu, and everyone is just staring into dead air, like as if ngiyaxolisa is going to me. I don't know, but everyone is just surprised. He goes on to say, Wuti Imkosi he died in his sleep. And then he goes on to say, Wuti bengizacela ukunidedela kancane. Doctor leaves. Everyone is still in shock. They don't know what to say, what to do. But Mandlovu, she goes close to the bed. Then she gets down on her knees and she holds Ubanzi's hand. Then Ebo follows her as well. He gets down on his knees. The only difference is that he holds his mother's shoulder, and Mandlovu starts crying, you guys. While she's crying, the Utaluxolo is like, wena wamanzi. And you can see in his eyes, guys, that eye shame, that there's tears in his eyes. And Undando follows and she says, wena wamanzi. Mandlovu, shame, she's crying there. She's like, wena wamanzi. Like, this is their signal, like to basically say goodbye to him. Utaluxolo goes on to say, Kahlambo mkhulu, nalakahle mlondolozi wamanzi, sobonana welizayo. And Mandlovu, shame, guys, her voice just keeps getting louder and louder because the way she's crying for her husband. To be honest, I didn't expect Mandlovu uzozila. Let me not say ukzila, because crying and ukzila, there's a difference, you guys. I did not expect Mandlovu to cry that loud and that much, and it seemed genuine, guys, like she was really crying and heartbroken because of Ubanzi's death. Ukzila, which is mourning, because part of ukzila, guys, is respect. So we'll see throughout uzomzila kahle Ubanzi or what's going to happen. Okay, guys, we are in Itakane, and Vincent is checking the switch. You know how it is, guys, when the electricity is gone, he's checking the switch to see light na. Uketiwe is in the kitchen sipping on some tea. I don't know she's sipping on which tea because there's no lights. Vincent goes on to say, ukuthi kanti lo gesi, like ubuya nini. Ketiwe goes on to say, ukuthi welcome to South Africa, like it's nothing new here in South Africa. Vincent goes on to say, your pena, like on la app they said which was a ngo 8 manje so 9, like it's 9 manje, and this case is still not back. So as he's speaking Anjalo, then Uketiwe's phone rings and we can see the person who's calling is Untando. So Uketiwe goes and reaches out for her phone and she's like, how ugayise? she answers the phone and she's like, my sister. Then Untando's like, Sawbona, mom. Ketiwe goes on to say, hello, my baby. Please tell me, Uguchi, like you are on your way home. Pelubaba wako wants you to come back, ukline, mina naye, like so we can rest and just dance. Ukayiseke, she just keeps quiet. And then Uketiwe notices ukuthi, like Uketiwe, I mean, made a joke and Ukayise is not laughing at it. And then she says, Kayise, like, are you there? Untando goes on to say, sorry, ma, like, corner, it's just that. Then Uketiwe is like, hey boy, indaba, like, what's wrong? Untando goes on to say, nginendaba ezimbi, ma. Ketiwe is like, yini, my baby, what's wrong? Untando goes on to say, Nkosi ubanzi, usekhotamile, ma'am, like he has died. Ukhethu was like, what? Untando's like, yes, ngimthole engasekho ekseni. I found him dead in the morning. Ketty was like, uthole uwe, like you are the one who found him. Untando's like, yebo ma. Ukhetty was like, okay, asenze kanje, like you coming back home namhlanje angithi. Untando goes on to say ukuthi ma, like ngizobuya emva komncwabo, like I'll come back after the funeral. And Ukhethu was like, no, you are coming back today. You have no business being there. Untando's like, ma, kodwa. Ukhethu was like, ayise angikufuni lapho mina, like I don't want you there. I don't want you around or there with the man who's responsible for the way your father's life turned out. Namhlanje, like unjenje, like the reason why izinto zinjenje, it's because of him. It's because of ubanzi. Now you wanna stay there for the funeral? Buya ekhaya kayise. Untando goes on to say ukuthi ma, like akusona isikhathi salokho njengamanje, like akusona isikhathi samapolitiki wamanje because umuntu ushonile basically. Ukhethiwe goes on to say, qiniso kayise, ngicela ubuye ekhaya, please just come back. Untando decides to drop the phone and hang up, and Ukhethiwe is like, hello. Then she looks at Vincent. She's like, yazi ulidropile ucingo lengane. Then Vincent goes on to say, tholakele sokushone bani manje, like to say ukuthi, hey, kuyashonwa le eKhahlamba ngempela, guys. Hey, it's raining dead bodies there eKhahlamba at this point. Again, we see Dalukala, he's addressing the workers, he's sebenzi, abo thintiwe, abo bodwa, abomnyambose, all of them, he calls them and summons them, and he's about to address them about this news. So he goes on to say ukuthi the kingdom of eKhahlamba sesingene esikhathini sokuzila manje. So ngiyazi ukuthi most of you guys ukuthi benithanda inkosi, so I expect you guys to treat lesi sikhathi sokuzila ngenhlonipho. But it's shame the way, one thing about Dalkolo, guys, he has a way of speaking to people. So he could have easily just broke down this news ingati, like, I'm just announcing it to you guys. I mean, after all, Nina, like, you guys are workers. But the way he's showing so much compassion in the way he's communicating these news, it's like he's saying to them, the same pain we are feeling, yes, within Nani, you guys are feeling it. And I think that was so considerate because as Isebenzi, you do feel the pain because you've connected in some way with this person. Anyway, Ubanzi goes on to say, not Ubanzi, Talukolo goes on to say, Mina and everyone else in the royal members are feeling the same pain that you're feeling. But Ngan Raisa, I am urging you to continue serving the royal house with the utmost care. Yona ndlela that we will be able to honor the king for the last time is to continue to serve his family. He goes on to say, Ngiyabonga, sending abuye emsebenzini. Aye guys, others babuyele emsebenzini, Thintiwe no rejoice, basaleke. Thintiwe turns to rejoice and she's like, yazi sisi, ngicabanga nje ukuthi ngiyocheck umuntu wami ngimcheck nje ukuthi right. Meka sithi umuntu wakhe guys ukhuluma ngomcebo. Ayibo le ntombazana ayizwa. Rejoice is like, ayibo umcheck ukuthini, umcheck ukuthi right. Like yes, mathinti, like kwesinye isikhathi, like like cha, like awuzwa la awuze emadlebeni. like really like basitanda usitshela ukuthi like uPrince Mcebo he needs isikhathi sakhe, they need space as the royal family. Wena ufuna ukuqonda kuye straight after they told us ukuthi we need to give them their space, like ufuna umnamathela nje like njengoChappies. And uthintiwe looks able rejoice like, oh mina nginamathela abantu mina. Rejoice goes on to say ukuthi yes yamnamathela hayi, like wethintiwe like ungifule sis, like ungifule, like imagine isithandwa sakho, like really. Then uRejoice just walks away, but you can see vele siyazi ukuthi uMathinte, she's convinced she really wants to do that. I'm like, the way Umcebo doesn't have no time for you, he's going to choke you if you just try and do anything. Okay, guys, we see Untando. She is with Ukamahlangu in her room, and Untando is trying to comfort Ukamahlangu. So Ukamahlangu is having a conversation with Untando. She's like, yazi ngane yami, kanti yini safelwa kangaka la eKhahlamba? Untando's like, ay nami ngithanda ukwazi ukuthi like what really is going on la eKhahlamba. Amahlangu goes on to say ukuthi okuhlungu-ke, the painful part is that uMandlovu nengane yakhe were here earlier on bezongitshela ukuthi mina I'm not welcome at the funeral. Untando's like, ini like abakwazi ukwenza njalo, like they can't do that, abanalo ilungelo. At this point I'm like, Ntando, you said the same thing when it came to uAndile, your father's passing, and them sharing you guys able sharing. At this point you should know that those two, especially able, he will do what he wants to do. Ukamahlangu goes on to say ukuthi they can do whatever, like the power lies with him now. Untando goes on to say ngiyacela, like bengicela ukuthi ungabavumeli, don't allow them to do that. Kamahlangu just sighs and she's like, kanti-ke mina ngane yami like mele ngipakishe because I've been banished from the palace. Ntando goes on to say ngiyacela bandla, like don't allow them to defeat you, ngiyacela. Kamahlangu goes on to say cha Ntando kayise, kanti bayangisiza, like bangisizile so that like ngihambe ngiphele kule ndawo so that I can have peace and quiet. Now guys, we all know uKamahlangu has been wanting to leave this place, so ngempela this is really her ticket and her opportunity to leave for good. She goes on to say ukuthi like bangisizile ngehlukane nobuthakathi bale ndawo as well as uMandlovu's wickedness. Untando's like kodwa. Kamahlangu goes on to say engikushoyo kuwena Ntando kayise, if you know what's good for you, you will leave this place ngoba nawe nje abafuni kakhulu ngoba inkosi ayisekho. Ntando goes on to say ukuthi mina I was not planning on staying here for a long time, kodwa ngeke ngivume ngixoshe uMcebo noma wakhe, ngeke ngivume bangixoshe nje. Kamahlangu goes on to say how Ntando kayise awumsabi uMcebo. Ntando's like cha angimsabi mina. Kamahlangu goes on to say uMcebo could do something if he sees that you are a threat. Uzomele umsabe ke sis. She goes on to ask noma mhlambe Ntando kayise bososhintshe umqondo about wanting to take the throne, like maybe is it that you want to take the throne? Is that the reason why you have changed your mind and you're staying a bit longer? So Ntando's like, Kama, like the only thing I am here for now, ngifuna ukufihla inkosi, my father's brother kuphela. Kamahlangu goes on to say ngiyakuzwa mawusho njalo ngoba like asikho isidingo for someone to just die for the throne. And I'm like, yes, when guys usebukhosini and you decide to take the throne, ufunga ngempilo yakho, so chances are majority of them they go out in life, they are killed for that throne. But basically I get where Kamahlangu is saying, while she's saying is that if you don't want lesi sihlalo, there's no need for you to die for it ungasifuni basically. She goes on to say like asikho isidingo to die for the throne ngoba lengane kaMandlovu uMcebo uzolwa up until death ngaleso sihlalo, like he's going to fight till death for that seat, and listen, she did not lie. I get guys, we see back at Sakane, utolagele, oh, Uketi was speaking with Vincent, but really she's irritated and she's like, Angazu guys, utulalela mawenze njani. Like, I told her utabuye, but you can see she's adamant to not come back. And Vincent is like, she's an adult, like, allow her to do allow her to make her own decisions. And then Uketi was like, this is not a decision. This is a mistake that she's about to make. And I'm trying to help her. I'm trying to prevent her from actually making a mistake. Vincent's like, yeah, but we all make our mistakes. So allow her to make her own mistakes. She's an adult. Khethiwe kanti otholakele kanti why don't you go over ekhahlamba uyomsupporta uyosupporta ulokhuzana untando kayise. And she's like, me utholakele ke no, she's like, me never, I would rather die. So guys, it is clear that Ukhethiwe, she's not going to that funeral. Maybe she'll end up changing her mind, but Ukai says like, listen, despite what Ubandi did to her, she's gonna make sure she's gonna be there. I get guys, we see another scene where Ukaise, Untando Aise, she is in the palace, the royal palace, and there's a big picture banzi that she's just staring at. While she's staring at the wall or at that picture that's on the wall, Mandlovu comes in and Mandlovu's like, Usafunan wena lana. Untando's like Ndlovukazi. Mandlovu's like, awugoduki ngani, like wena ngani, like uyelokishini. I'm just like, then you say lo muntu uzilile, because guys mawuzilile kumele ungathethi nje. So Untando goes on to say Ndlovukazi, kanjani like ngizogoduka kanjani inkosi like iqeda ukhothama. Mandlovu's like, akusiyona indaba yakho leyo. Weren't you here to stand for amahlangu ecaleni lakhe manje, like why are you still here? Untando goes on to say yebo impela kodwa. As she's still talking uMandlovu, one thing about Mandlovu guys, she's so good at cutting people off. As Untando's still talking, uMandlovu goes on to say ukuthi so pelile phela, so pelile like icala seliphelile goduka pendela eTsakane. As she's saying that uDarufolo walks in. Utalukalo goes on to say, oh, Ndlovukazi, like, awumyekele, like, up until the funeral is over. Ukhumbule phela ukuthi untando kayise besenhlizweni yenkosi. She was in the king's heart. Mandlovu frowns and she's like, usukela nini, like, since when has untando been on the king's heart? Dalukalo goes on to say, which is so khohliwe, like, who invited them here for dinner? Kwaba wena Ndlovukazi owathuma uThintiwe to prepare basically the guest rooms for them. Ndlovukazi so khohliwe ukuthi you the one basically who welcomed them into this royal palace. Mandlovu goes on to say ukuthi ngihambile kodwa after umngcwabo. That's how I'm saying, guys, Utalukalo is so good with his words. He can even manage to persuade uMandlovu. I don't know about Umcebo, but he's that good, you guys, because he convinced uMandlovu about a number of things now, guys. He has a way of speaking and he knows which he cannot speak to Mandlovu in a way like that's going to like show which he's trying to be disrespectful. Ukhuluma naye ngenhlonipho but giving her facts. So that is kind of very wise man, that's one get guys. Then we see uKamahlangu, she's packing her clothes. While she's packing her clothes, uMandlovu angeneke. uMandlovu is like, how kanti uselama? Mina ngithi kade wahamba. Ayi kodwa angilana, I'm just here to tell ukuthi ngeke ukwazi, like ngeke ngikwazi ukuvumela to take all those clothes ukuthi uhambe nazo zonke lezo mpahla phela zathengwa ngemali yala ekhahlamba. Hayi bo, I'm just like Mandlovu shukuthini. Kamahlangu zathi manje Mandlovu goes on to say ukuthi ayi phela awulona ilungelo, like awunamalungelo wena phela la in the palace anymore. Wena you lost amalungelo akho the day wagibela embhedeni nenye indoda. Hey bo, I'm just like, she goes on to say ngiqinisile njalo, like you can't take any of the things you can't take any of these clothes. You need to leave them back. You need to leave them. The only clothes ozohamba nazo ilezo zigqokile. Nazo nje, I'm not sure do you want me to make you take off those clothes that you're wearing? Kamahlang was like, I'd like to see you try ke Mandlovu ukuthi ezama ke. Ayi ke kanti uKamahlang akazi ukuthi uMandlovu sekane backup. She's like, oh, wenogada. Kamahlang was like, ungibizela unogada. Then we see the card, unogada walking in, you guys. And uMandlovu was like, bengazi phela ukuthi you do something like this. So I came prepared. So when Anje, you will also leave the jewelry and the beadwork that you want to take with you because basically it does not belong to you. All of those things is share because they belong ekahlamba basically. We just see uKamahlangwu taking off her earrings, guys, and uMandlovu says kulungile no patang abang wuti now we understand one another ke manje. Then the god walks out or he goes out. Kamahlangu goes on to say umthetho wakho Mandlovu cabanga ukuthi uwinile. And then Mandlovu was like, kanti, like to say like, have I not? Kamahlangu goes on to say ukuthi usakhona umcebo. And then uMandlovu says like usazokwenzani umcebo, like what is he still to do? Kamahlangu goes on to say uzobujikela umcebo Mandlovu. Angazi if you don't see it because maybe everything he's doing he learned it from you. Ubulwane bakhe. Ubulwane kamcebo, like you should know it by now. Like uyavela kancane kancane. Noba even if you are in denial of it, kodwa you know kahle kahle ukuthi he's the one owabulela umkhuseli. Baningi nje esihamba phezu kwabo ngenxa kamcebo. So my suspicions is that umcebo as when Mandlovu, he's the one who actually killed uBanji no Andile. So ngiyaxwayisa ukuthi don't trust umcebo. As long as umcebo is still around, you have not won as it. Mandlovu goes on to say, so khulume kakhulu bengicela ukuthi unginikeze okhiya bemoto. Like she's taking everything. Like she's making sure ukuthi like Mandlovu leaves with nothing, you guys. Rather Mandlovu is making sure that Kamahlangu leaves with nothing. Kamahlangu goes on to say ukuthi uzolukhumbula lo mzuzu Mandlovu, uzolukhumbula lo mzuzu when you allowed darkness to take control over you. Like amazwi wami uzowakhumbula. Like you will remember these words that I'm telling you. You can see the words are kind of dawning into Mandlovu, but listen guys, at this point usadawe umbuso, so she's not going to allow those words to seep in. Anyway, we see a board meeting happening, guys. The board meeting, uMandlovu is not there about the council members uTanuxolo and uNtando. I don't know why uNtando is there, but anyway, uTanuxolo is saying, listen, we know obviously the king's passing is good news, and listen, our phones have been buzzing like no one's business because of the media. So we need to appoint umuntu that's going to address the media because we need someone who's going to do it well. One of the council members who's sitting next to Kayise says about what we wena. And she's like, mina, I don't have experience in media, mina. I don't think I'm the one to do it. Then he goes on to say, but you were able to, stand for Kamahlangu's case in front of all of us. So you do have the capability of actually addressing the media. I'm sure when that council member said that, he was like, good chance. Because I knew Dalukolo, this is what he was getting at. Dalukolo goes on to say, mina, I think Untando she's a good fit to actually address the media. Goes on to say, we need someone who's experienced with indaba zalana eKhahlamba, with the way we do things, and I don't think ukuthi uKayise is intombazana nje yaselokishini. Angithi every chance he gets, he will mention that. He's like, intombazana nje yaselokishini, I don't think she's fit enough for this job. Dalukolo goes on to say, I think that she is fit enough for this job. We would not have appointed you, Kayise, if we did not see that you are capable of doing this, and then uKayise says, okay, I will accept that job. Then so Tama allowed that to slide because I'm sure he's saying, listen, I've got bigger fish to fry. Then Utarukano continues with his meeting and he's like, listen, one of the instructions that the king gave me before he died was that he does not want to be buried by the king's graveside. So, guys, Kosini, there's a graveside that is specifically designated for abantu basebukosini for kings to be buried. So, Ebo looks surprised. He's like, ngobani? And then Utalkano goes on to say, Uti azange ngibuze, I did not ask Uti why he doesn't want to be buried there. Or he told me Uti yena, he wants to be buried next to umntwana uandile. Oh, I was like, ngeke wenzeke lokho. That's not going to happen. Then Danukano says the king's wishes must be respected. I was like, no, but we have terms and conditions. The way he sends his intonga khona la ebukhosini. So that's not going to happen. We are going to bury him there by the king's gravesite. And Shilo, Kulumile, I have spoken, you guys. Yeah, guys, I think we are still going to see things unveiling, but let's park it right here. Tell me your thoughts on this latest episode. Please do make sure you like the video. Please do subscribe. It is absolutely for free of charge, and I'll see you guys on the next one.